Hello guys, in this video we are going to apply what we have studied in the previous video, the preparation of haloalkanes. We are going to use the different methods of preparation which we have studied in the previous video to predict the products of an incomplete chemical reaction. So before we move on to the application part, I just want to recall few topics that you have studied in grade 11. Whenever an organic reaction happens, the reactants are converted into products. Before the reactants are completely changed into products, they are actually changing into an intermediate. So there are different intermediates in organic reactions. I have listed three: free radicals, carbocations, and carbanions. So we are going to see how these intermediates are formed and what are the different types of these intermediates and what are their stabilities, because the knowledge of this is very important in predicting the products. We know in all organic compounds, the bonding between two atoms is covalent bonding. So when a covalent bond, this is a covalent bond joining atoms A and B, if it breaks in such a way that each atom takes away one electron of the shared pair. So this is the shared pair of electrons. When they break, each atom takes away one electron. See, so you end up with A one electron and B with one electron. This type of cleavage is called as homolytic cleavage, and these species with one electron is called as free radicals. And this is another type of cleavage where the bonding between these two atoms, it is broken in such a way that one atom carries both the shared pair of electrons. This happens when that particular atom is more electronegative than the other atom. So when B is more electronegative than A, when this bond cleaves, B goes with both the electron and A goes with a positive charge and B carries a negative charge. This type of cleavage is heterolytic cleavage. But in the case of free radicals, each atom takes away one electron. Here one atom takes away both the electron. And the other type is the same type of cleavage, but here A is more electronegative than B. So when A is more electronegative than B, A goes away with both the electrons. So A carries a negative charge and B carries a positive charge. So if this B here is a carbon, so the carbon species with a negative charge is called as carbanion. If this A is a carbon, then carbon with a negative charge is again a carbanion. If this is your carbon, which means carbon is bonded to a more electronegative atom, then the other atom will go with both the electrons and carbon will carry a positive charge. When your carbon carries a positive charge, we call that as carbocation. So these are the three types of intermediates in organic reactions: carbon species with a positive charge called as carbocation, carbon with a negative charge called as carbanion, and this is carbon free radicals. So there are different types of carbocation, carbanion, and carbon free radicals. As I said, there are different types of free radicals and carbocations. So now we are going to see that different classification and their stability. So see, this is benzylic free radical. See, carbon with an odd electron or unshared electron. So this is benzylic. So benzylic free radical. And in the first video, I've told you what is tertiary, secondary, and primary. If your selected carbon has three carbon neighbors, we call that as tertiary, and this carbon has one unshared electron, so this is a free radical. So this is tertiary free radical, secondary free radical, and this is primary free radical. Same way, if your carbon carries a positive charge, this is benzylic carbocation, tertiary carbocation, secondary carbocation, and primary carbocation. We apply different effects like inductive effect, hyperconjugation effect, and electromeric effect, everything, to talk about the stability of these free radicals and carbocations, which you have studied in grade 11. So let's not go deep into that. We'll just see the stability. See, in the case of free radical and carbocations, benzylic free radical is the most stable, and then tertiary, then comes secondary, and finally primary is the least stable. So the same order is followed for both free radicals and carbocations. The reason why I am teaching you this is, in any organic reaction, the most stable intermediate will be changed into the product. So if you know which intermediate is the most stable, then you can predict the products easily. So please remember this order so that we could apply this when we try to predict the products in a given organic reaction. Now let's try to predict the products. Before you start doing this, I just want you to watch the previous video so that you can understand the different methods of preparation of haloalkanes. So we can prepare haloalkanes from alcohols, alkanes, alkenes, and from other haloalkanes also, which we call as halide exchange. So if you know all the reagents that we could possibly use, then it is easy for you to predict these products. Now look at the reagent here. It is HBr, and this is an alkene. Don't worry about this part because you're going to add this hydrogen halide across this double bond. And hope you remember Markovnikov's rule, and I told you when you are trying to add this across an unsymmetrical double bond, the halogen preferably goes to carbon having less number of hydrogen atoms. So this is carbon double bond carbon. So this carbon has one hydrogen atom, but this carbon has two hydrogen atoms. So obviously bromine will go to this carbon. So bromine comes to this carbon, hydrogen goes to this carbon. So here you get three hydrogens, here one bromine, and no more double bond. So this is the product of this reaction. Now coming to the next reaction, same way you have an hydrogen halide, which is hydrogen chloride, and you are going to add it across the double bond. So this is again an unsymmetrical double bond, and this carbon has one hydrogen and this has two hydrogen, and chlorine goes to carbon having less number of hydrogen atom according to Markovnikov's rule. So chlorine will get attached here and hydrogen will come here. So this becomes CH3 and here Cl comes and double bond will become single bond. So this is the product for this reaction. Coming to this reaction, again you have hydrogen halide, but what is present on the arrow? Peroxide. I told you when there is peroxide, the anti-Markovnikov's rule will be happening, which means the reverse of this reaction. So according to Markovnikov's, halogen atom goes to carbon having less number of hydrogen atom, but when peroxide is there, halogen atom goes to carbon having more number of hydrogen atoms. So across this double bond, this carbon has more hydrogen atoms, so Br goes here and hydrogen goes to this carbon. So this is CH2 and a CH2 and Br comes here. So this is the product of this reaction. This question is given in your textbook, example 10.4, and now I am going to show you one more in-text question, 10.4. So now read this question and try to understand what is asked. Among the isomeric alkanes of molecular formula C5H12. So they have given you a molecular formula and they are asking you among the isomeric alkanes. So you are supposed to write all the possible alkanes for this formula and then identify the one that on photochemical chlorination, which means after writing the isomeric alkanes for this formula, you are going to treat each compound with chlorine in the presence of UV light, and that is called as photochemical chlorination. When you do that process, which of the written isomeric alkanes will yield single monochloride, 3 isomeric monochloride and 4 isomeric monochloride, which means the product. In which of these isomeric alkanes will give just one product, which will give 3 products and which will give 4 products is the question. So what is the first step? Write all the possible isomeric alkanes for this formula, and I've taught you already how to write isomers. 5 carbons are there, so put 5 dots. So to write the isomers, reduce 1 carbon, so put 4 dots, treat that carbon as a substituent, and again reduce 1 more dot, so put 3 dots, treat 2 carbons as the substituents. So I've joined all the dots, 5 dots here, 4 dots with a substituent, 3 dots with 2 substituents. So look at the name, 5 carbon atoms, pentane, and here 4 carbon atoms in second position a methyl group, so 2-methyl butane, and here 3 carbon atoms propane in the second position 2-methyl, so 2,2-dimethyl propane is the name of this compound. So this is the bond line structure and this is the expanded form. So I've written it this way, and this is 2-methyl butane and this is 2,2-dimethyl propane. Now the question is, you're going to treat all these 3 with chlorine in the presence of UV light, which means this is undergoing photochemical chlorination. So which will yield 1 monochloride, which will yield 3 isomeric monochloride, which will yield 4 isomeric monochlorides. So actually the question is, when you replace any of these hydrogens with chlorine, whether you get the same product or different products. Now I'll show you. Now see, among these three isomers, I'm taking this isomer and I'm treating it with chlorine in the presence of UV light. So what will happen? One hydrogen will be replaced with chlorine. So I'm getting this product, 1 chloro, see 1, 2, 3, 1 chloro, 2, 2-dimethyl propane. Are there any other possibility? Suppose if I'm replacing this hydrogen with chlorine, I get this product. Okay, if I am replacing this hydrogen with chlorine, I'll get this product. If I replace this hydrogen with chlorine, I get this product. In all the three cases, they are similar to this compound. See, here also 1, 2, 3, 1 chloro, 2, 2-dimethyl propane. Again, if you replace this hydrogen with chlorine, 1, 2, 3. So what will be the name? 1 chloro, 2, 2-dimethyl propane. So no matter which hydrogen you replace, you get the same product, which means all the four hydrogens are equivalent. So that is the actual question. Which of these three isomers will yield one monochloride? So this is the single monochloride, because whether you replace any hydrogen, you get the same products. Now what is the second question? Which of these three isomers will yield three monochlorides? Now among the three, I'm taking the first one. This is pentane. In pentane, I have three different hydrogen atoms. See, A, B, C and B, B. These two are same hydrogens and this two are same hydrogens, because whether you replace this with chlorine or this with chlorine, you end up with the same product. Now I'm treating this with chlorine in the presence of UV light. Now see, first I'm replacing this hydrogen with chlorine. I get 1 chloropentane, and then I'm replacing this hydrogen with chlorine. I'm getting 2 chloropentane, and the third possibility, I'm replacing this hydrogen with chlorine. I'm getting 3 chloropentane. So totally I get 3 products. So pentane gives 3 products. If I replace this one, for example, this, I get again 1 chloropentane. If I replace this, I get 2 chloropentane. So this and this are same, and this are same. So it is taken only once. So totally 3 products you get. And the third question is, which of the three isomers will yield 4 products? Now see this isomer. What is this? 2-methyl butane. In 2-methyl butane, I have 4 different hydrogens. See, this and this are same. So 1, 2, 3, 4 different hydrogens. So every time I replace one hydrogen, I get one product. So in the first product, I am replacing this hydrogen with chlorine when I treat it with chlorine in the presence of UV light. So I get 1 chloro, 2-methyl, 4 carbon atoms butane. And in the second possibility, I am replacing this hydrogen with chlorine. So I get 2 chloro, 2-methyl butane. And in the third possibility, I am replacing this hydrogen with chlorine. And in the fourth, I am replacing this hydrogen with chlorine. So I get 4 different products. And so that is the question. Which of these 3 isomers will yield 4 products? So among these 3 isomers of formula C5H12, this yields 3 isomers, 3 products when it is treated with chlorine in the presence of UV light, and this yields 4 products, and this yields only 1 monochloride, single monochloride. Now let's try one more in-text question, 10.5, and we'll try to predict the major products. So now we know we can prepare haloalkanes from alcohols, and you can prepare haloalkanes from alkenes and also from alkanes. So now see which of the starting material is used here. We have alcohols, and you are treating it with thionyl chloride, and we know when you treat it with thionyl chloride, OH will be replaced by Cl. So what will be the product? So this is the product of the reaction. So you are asked to predict the major product. So if you write only this also, it is fine. So OH is replaced by Cl. Okay, so this is the product. And look at the next equation. What is given? You have bromine in the presence of UV light, which means you are taking an alkane and it is treated with bromine UV light. So what will happen? A hydrogen will be replaced and bromine comes there. Now the question is whether this hydrogen will be replaced by Br or this hydrogen. So that is the reason in the beginning of the video I tried to recall that stability of free radicals and carbocations. Suppose if this is the carbocation, this is plus. Suppose if this is the carbocation, this is primary carbocation, because this carbon okay, has one carbon neighbor, this is primary. And if this gets a positive, this is the carbocation, then this is benzylic carbocation. And you know benzylic carbocation is more stable, so that will be preferred. So rather than forming plus here, this will become the carbocation. So when this is plus, Br will go attack here. So what will be the product? So this is the product. Can you understand? So the Br will not come here. Br will come here, because if it comes here, then it shows it is forming benzylic carbocation, which is more stable than the primary. So this is the possible product. And come to the next example. It is treated with HCl. And you know, when you treat it with HCl, OH will be replaced by Cl. OH will be replaced by Cl. Now the question arises, why not this OH is replaced? Because this OH is directly attached to the benzene ring. So this acquires a partial double bond character due to resonance. So it is difficult to break this bond and replace it with Cl. So only this OH is replaced by Cl. So the product will be, so this is the product. Only this OH is replaced by Cl, and this OH stays intact. Okay, so this is the product. And coming to the next example, you have Hi and you have a double bond. And obviously we follow Markovnikov's rule. So what happens here? This halogen will go to carbon having less number of hydrogen atoms. So which carbon has less? So this is a carbon, this is a carbon, carbon-carbon double bond. Here this carbon has CH. Okay, because this is actually CH2, and since there is a double bond, this is actually CH, and here CH and one H is replaced by CH3. So here it is C, it is CH. So which carbon has more hydrogen atoms? This. So this has only one hydrogen, here no hydrogen atom. So obviously iodine will go to this carbon. So what will be the product? So this will be the product. Okay, so the iodine is going to carbon having less number of hydrogen atom, because no hydrogen atom here, CH, one hydrogen atom. So hydrogen will go there, this will become CH2, so no double bond, and iodine will get attached here. So this is how you have to predict the product. Now the next question. See what is given here, NaI. So where we have seen this NaI in Finkelstein reaction. So you have taken a bromide and you're treating it with NaI. So this actually happens in the presence of dry acetone. So what will happen? This bromine will be replaced by I. So what will be the product? CH3, CH2, I plus NaBr. So if it is a name reaction, you have to mention the name. So this reaction is called as Finkelstein reaction. Look at the products. Br is substituted by iodine and you get NaBr. So this is Finkelstein reaction. And the next one, don't get confused when you have a double bond here and a bromine here. This is actually chlorination, photochemical chlorination or photochemical bromination. So here you are treating this bromine in the presence of heat or UV light with this substrate. So which will be replaced by bromine? The alkane hydrogen, not the double bond. So not these two, any of these four will be replaced by bromine. So what will be the product? So this will be the product. If it is instead of Br2, if it is HBr, then we will attach this, add this H and Br here and follow Markovnikov's rule. But this is bromine, presence of UV light, which is following free radical mechanism. So we are getting bromine here. So this is how you have to apply your knowledge to predict the products. Thank you.